Oh, we are here for another exciting episode of whatever this is.
You know what? That's our name.
Whatever this is.
Whatever this is.
All right.
Because we have started every episode for I think since about the third one, it's been... And we're back with whatever we're doing here, whatever this ends up being. We're not quite sure yet. I think that just needs to be...
Might be it.
Might be it.
So, whatever it is. Whatever it is. Well, I'm Hef. This is Crispy. We are doing this beer. It is an unusual India-style black ale. So it's not an IPA, it's an IBA. From Marshal Brewing Company, found in the lovely area of Tulsa, Oklahoma, which is actually nearby. So if we like this so much, we can probably go bug them one weekend.
That actually sounds like fun.
Yeah. The Loco Gringo series, El Cucuy.
God, I hope you butchered it. But we have
I don't know
idea.
how to say it, so...
Yeah. For the labeling, almost nothing to describe the actual beer that's inside, other than the alcohol by volume. We're looking at about 8.6 on this one. I only have ideas of what this is going to look like and what it's going to taste like just by the style of brew that they're saying it is. I have no clues as to really how sweet or how bitter. Well, I have some clues as to how bitter it's going to be. The overall flavor profile, we're kind of...
we're in the dark. In the dark. Somewhat. I will say that it does come in a 4-pack. And
Fuck it.
do it dry. Fuck it, we'll do it live!
So, as far as the aesthetics of the bottle goes, it's got a interesting little goblin-looking style character on there.
Yeah, I don't...
Kind of creepy.
Yeah. It's like if Mad Magazine did a horror comic, this is kind of what it would look like.
Yeah.
But enough of that, shall we?
Yup.
Ooh, look at me.
Okay, we both missed that one. That's... Huh. I'm catching blueberries.
Yeah, there's... I think that's the hops. That is a lot. That is really powerful.
It's hops. I'm smelling the hops, but it's still almost too sweet and fruity, in my opinion, for it to just be the hops. Not actually as dark as I was imagining it to come out.
Mm-hmm. It's not that, it doesn't look that thick either.
No, it doesn't.
Nice hit.
Mm-hmm. Actually, did that one pretty well. I was afraid I was going to rough it up too much, as one might say.
Yeah. So, some rough head happens from time to time.
So, let's see if I can get some light through that. No, not really. But at the same time, it's not as black as some of the other ones that we've had.
Right. There's not a murk to it. There's kind of like an amber. Yeah, amber. Like
amber reflection off of
it.
Especially down towards the base where I can see it.
It's really a unique taste. It is a bit more bitter than... Yeah, but it's not as bad as Rasputin.
No, it's not.
And in fact, I would put it closer to, it's almost very much like a double red in the bitterness category.
Yeah, I was actually a little worried that this was going to be more bitter because it is an American brewed IBA.
Right. Yes. India Black Ale instead of India Pale Ale.
Yeah, so I was afraid that this was going to be really punch you in the face bitter.
Right.
Which has been my personal experience with them. One thing I'm noticing that when I drink out of a glass, I have to be a little bit more aware of how much I'm taking on a pull, where it's much easier for me to take a nice, long, hefty pull at the start, as opposed to whereas out of a bottle, you're dealing with the whole physics of pressure variables. Bottles kind of force you to take enough to coat the palate, or coat your tongue, not float your tongue.
Right.
So I'm trying to get a little bit more practice with not just taking a hefty pull.
Leaving yourself enough room, essentially.
Yeah.
There is you were right about the blueberries, in the sense that there's like a fruit.
Yeah.
There's something in there that I can get on the what did that judge call it? Not the neonasal, but the like post.
Yeah, where you after you've drunk or swallowed, you exhale. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You push the air that's still left after you swallow some of the beer, and you push the air back through your nose, and it allows all those aromas to go back up over it. And that's where I catch it. It's like, or getting something out of that. I'm having trouble.
Words added here.
yeah. It may be right up there. I'm trying to figure out something other than just the hops. And there's an herbal component to it. There's that fruit or something component. It may be acetic. It may not be like a citrus. It may be an acetic acid.
Yeah.
I just can't tell because of the hops is so floral and grainy and
yeah.
Which American hops always tend to be. I think we mentioned last time.
What the fuck was that?
I don't know.
I told you, there's always one that's off.
Yeah, apparently. Redhead stepchild with claps.
Yeah, apparently.
Redhead stepchild with the clap.
Oof. Got the clap and I'm giving it to you. Got the clap and I'm giving it to you. And that's now got to get cut because that was so many seconds, and it was also the
B-roll.
As I take a lighter pull, I'm noticing a lot more of the citrusy sweet flavors and more of the coffee flavor on the back end that I had previously mentioned. But when I take the heavier pulls, the malts and the hops tend to win out a lot more. Like, it just drowns the palate. It's definitely a learning experience.
Trying to differentiate between the two.
Yeah. I mean, you should definitely try both pulls when you do it, just so that way you can identify how it is you should probably drink this beverage for your own personal flavors.
Yeah, I guess it is the malts that are kind of giving that almost like a caramel.
Yeah.
But it's covered up so much by the ale end of it, the freshness and that first.
Yeah. So when you drink from this, make sure you do like a small sip, so you can let it wash over the whole palate and get a huge flavor blast I was noticing. And then when I took a heavy pull, I got just more of the malts.
Huh. Yeah, you're right. It does have a different gravity to it when there's like from the small pull, whatever you define as the small pull in your own mouth. You double, essentially, double that. Just and that instant burst of really powerful, like spring type flavors.
Yeah, that's what I was just very citrusy, very floral, kind of sweet with a little bit more bitter on the back end. I was noticing more bitter on the back end. And then you take that heavy pull, and it's the heavier flavors really float in.
It's like a chestnut sort of nutty quality to it. Maybe there's like an edge of like peat to it. I heard there was one malt heavy beer that we were drinking that tasted like. Now I said, it tastes like sea salt. almost, because that has that kind of like tang to it.
Yeah.
It's an interesting. It's really complex. I didn't know what to expect from an IBA, which I'm still laughing at IBA because we wear, some people wear IBAs as part of their armor.
I didn't realize that was what was making you chuckle.
Yeah, this is an
IBA.
I'm like,
the mouthfeel on this, it's definitely less than Rasputin for the density. It's actually a lot softer than I thought it was going to be.
yeah.
I'm not sure where I would put it on a scale, though.
For color, if the first one we had was an 11, because that gauge, that was really light.
Yeah.
And then the other one that we just did was what, a 50?
33.
33?
Yeah, and that was pretty close to the same darkness as this.
Okay. This seems a little bit lighter. Is the other one
so
was
maybe
red?
yeah. So this would probably be closer to a 31-30 range for the color scale.
Yeah, for the thickness, for the actual mouthfeel, the silkiness quality to it, it flows really well, but still has a bit of body to it. It does remind me of some of the double reds that I drink on my off time.
Yeah, I've had a couple reds on my own off time when I was still experimenting with beers, and that's when I kind of was figuring out what I liked in flavor. And reds were primarily because I was having them in Washington, and so it's the West Coast, so a red's going to be more bitter. That's just the way they are. It's the way the whole West Coast is. Reds and IPAs are just kick you in the mouth.
Yeah, and they're everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a trendy hipster thing to drink is the IPA.
I know.
The IPA small batch. Oh, they only made 2 cases of this.
Oh my god. I
light you on fire.
Where's the river to drown you?
I'll bring the river to you. Alright, well, without further ado,
Yeah.
question number 1. Would you buy this beer, and would you go out of your way to get it?
After figuring out how to pick this beer apart a little bit more by the heavy
I
pull.
think I would stress that there's still some mysteries with this one.
Yeah. After trying to figuring out the pull a little bit better on to how to drink it, I think I would probably go with this one a little bit more.
Okay.
I would be willing to go and buy this one, and I would be maybe willing to go a little bit out of my way. But
So the India style start of the sentence doesn't freak you out as much as it did before?
maybe not so much, but it's still going, especially when it's from a US-based company, it's still going to be kind of something that I look at and I'm just going, can you bite your thumb at me, sir?
Apparently so. Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was
Pretty painless.
yeah, it's
actually.
really simple. All right. Question number 2: would you use this beer to distinguish your taste in beers or your ability to taste beers to another person?
Yes, I would because I have figured out how to run the flavoring on this one. If I take the light pull, I can tell you about the more citrusy fruit flavors that I'm picking up and that bitter aftertaste. Or if I do the heavy pull, I can talk a little bit more about the malts and I can pick it apart a little bit better. I don't know how far I would go with this one into showing off my flavors with it because it is still a little bit more bitter than what I would prefer. But it's not so far out of my bitter comfort zone that I wouldn't be willing to show it.
Question number 3: would you bring this to a group setting, and or would you sell this at your establishment? And I'm almost thinking at this point we should have an establishment. All we need is a small bar.
You know, I've thought about running an establishment before.
That's how I want to retire.
Yeah, it would be great. My establishment personally would have been like a tabletop style establishment with
beer and games.
The game store my brother goes to and helps out with for running D&D adventures and whatnot. They're actually in the process of getting their alcohol license and teaming up with local microbrews.
Okay,
and
that's great.
To help boost the small sales of the smaller companies and help them get a foothold.
It is so hard to keep tabletop stores just in general alive. It's just such a niche market that it has such deep fluctuations. But anyways, would you bring it to the party, or would you sell it at your establishment?
I don't know if I would bring it to a party. One, it's a 4-pack. Two, I think you said it was a little bit more expensive. So bringing it to a party, not so much. Bringing it to an establishment
for the purpose of sale.
For the purpose of sale, not so much a restaurant. Not so much a bar.
Right.
But again, leaning more towards that pub and tavern. And really
this says like penny loafers, newspaper.
Yeah, so more of the tavern then.
Yeah, definitely much. It's not the bar. I don't see spring heels in summer and like summer dresses and like golf shirts.
Yeah,
definitely not something to be underestimated or taken lightly. Like, served with the complexity of this would change foods that it would be served with drastically.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really appreciate that. So awesome. All right. Any last words?
No, I don't think I have any caveats. Not really. I do again wish that they would put more descriptor on the bottle.
Right. It's not really enough information for people who are attempting to sound smart like us.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
so I think that about wraps us up.
Marshal Brewery, we may be seeing you shortly. So, see you, and
keep it up.
Cheers.